Hi, in this video we're going to do some planting, and we want to get some tools first. So the first thing we need is our garden plan, our square foot garden plan that we have done so we know exactly what kind of plants we are going to plant. Then you need a tray that we're going to plant in. If this one only has 6, if you're planting more than 6, then obviously you will need more. You will need your seeds, which you can get from wherever your teacher has put the seeds. You will need something to measure. A ruler is good. If you have a garden spacer, then that also works as well. But this will help you measure the depth of how deep you will put the seeds, and every seed has a different requirement. Some masking tape, and this is important for labeling your seeds as well as labeling your tray so you don't lose it. And that is essentially all you would need. Oh, and some dirt, of course. So let's get started. You're going to take your tray and you're going to fill it up. And you're not going to fill it up right to the top. You don't want to cover it. But I filled the one up here. You can take a look. And it's almost to the top. I would say 90% full. And don't compact it down. Don't push it down. Don't do any of that. So that's your first step. After you have that, then what I want you to do is I want you to find your seeds. Now, this is the current seed tray I have. Lots of different seeds. Everything from just the local hardware store to some local company seeds. Whatever you find, go through it and pick what you want. You may have tomatoes on your plant, and there may be 5 different types of tomatoes, or the same with lettuce or spinach or carrots. You're going to want to go through that and find the variety that you want. Now, the wonderful thing about gardening is there's so much variety. So, feel free to experiment. Feel free to mix and match. All right. So, once you have your seeds, it's really important not to lose them and to keep good track of them. So, maybe you want to get a piece of tape and put the seeds on it. That's a good way to not lose them. Or if you have a little tray, that's a good way too. Now, your seeds are going to vary vastly with size, shape, and I've put a few on a little piece of tape because I find this a very easy way to organize and not lose them. And even if you accidentally hit it, they will likely stay on. So, as you can see, there are 2 different types of seeds on this. We have the squash down here, and then these little tiny guys are lettuce. All right, and those are very, very easy to lose. So when you do go get your seeds, maybe grab something where you're not going to lose them, or where you're not going to mix them up and get confused of what is what. When you pull out the seeds from here, you'll find there's lots of packaging, and the packaging is mostly ripped at the top so that you can access it. It is very important not to spill all these seeds. All these little seeds actually are kind of expensive. They all add up. So please be careful and only take what you need, and put the rest back. Fold this back up, and then if there's a piece of tape, put it back on, or a paper clip, or anything that is going to ensure that that is sealed, just in case someone knocks over the whole seed thing. If there's not a piece of tape on this, do the courteous thing and grab a piece of tape and slap it on there. That is going to be really kind and courteous for the next person that's going to use it. Make sure we have seeds for everyone. Once you have your seeds and your dirt tray, then you need to figure out how deep to plant each seed. Oh boy, every seed is going to be a little bit different. So, at the back of every package, there should be a bunch of info. And one of those infos are seed depth. And this one right here I have is lettuce. Those were those little seeds. And this one needs 1/4 of an inch or 6 millimeters. That's 0.6 centimeters. This is the time you take your ruler or whatever measuring device and see just exactly how big that is. Okay? 1/4 of an inch. That's like this big. And you don't have to measure every one. You just need a good idea of how big it is. So, my lettuce is about that big. That's how deep I want the hole. So I'm literally just going to use my finger and make a little hole in every one. When you plant, what I want you to do is I want you to plant 2 seeds in every single hole. 2 seeds in every hole. The reason why we do this is so just in case one of the seeds doesn't take, one of the seeds is dead. And if they both grow, then all we are going to do is we're going to snip one of them so that one of them can get all the nutrients around and they don't choke each other out and slow each other down. So once you have 2 in there, you can take the soil and you can lightly cover it. Okay. Now knowing when we do this, we're going to water it after, and the water is going to compact down the soil a little bit. That's totally okay. But what we don't want to do is be pushing down the soil lots. Okay, just let that naturally settle over time. So once we've done that, all we have to do is label it. Okay, if you would like, label every single tray if it's different. If the whole tray is peas, label it all peas, or any kind of plant. But the other important thing is your name. You need to put your name down. Make sure it's clear, make sure it's written, and you're gonna put the tape down so it's covering either just one section or the whole section. But really push that tape down so that it stays. Okay. Once you've done that, then you are essentially done. Make sure you have planted at least everything on your garden plan. If you don't plant it, you may not have it. So please make sure. The important things, take care of the seeds. Have all the proper tools ready when you're going to go. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. 2 seeds per one. And then once everything is done and labeled, then you can get a check by your teacher and you can bring this to the appropriate place. A teacher may have a section where they're watering it, or they may just have a place to set it, and then the teacher will water it all at the end. If you do this at home, water this. Give this a thorough watering. It's important that these have holes in them so the water can drain. You don't want too much water in there because that will waterlog it, and you'll have all sorts of other problems. So that is how we plant seeds, and we're going to get to it. Thanks.